The FBI is now involved in Nolan Wells's case, and a woman connected to his final hours just broke her silence. You need to understand both of these developments right now, because together, they change everything about this story. For weeks, everyone assumed Nolan simply walked toward a boat and vanished. His friends swore he chose to stay behind. Nobody could confirm who he was actually talking to in his final moments. That's no longer true. A young woman has finally been identified. Her family says she knows exactly what happened in that conversation, and what she's revealing doesn't match the story you've been told. At the same time, federal investigators have stepped into a case that local police couldn't crack alone. That alone should raise your eyebrows. Why would the FBI get involved this late? What do they know that hasn't gone public yet? You're about to hear exactly what changed, in the sheriff's own words. You're about to hear what this woman's family says she witnessed. Neither answer is simple. Neither answer settles this case. But together, they shift everything you thought you understood about Nolan's final hour. Stay with us, because the next detail directly contradicts what his friends have been saying publicly for weeks. But before you assume the FBI cracked this case wide open, you need to hear exactly what the sheriff actually said. Evidence Sheriff John Ledbetter gave an update this week, and two details stood out immediately. First, his department has been running formal witness interviews. Second, they've been in direct contact with the FBI. He called the recent flood of public tips genuinely useful. He said the investigation is active, it's ongoing. That matters, because his earlier comments drew real criticism. His original phrase, "no foul play suspected," left people furious and confused. This update sounds different. More careful, more procedural. But here's what you need to understand before you get too excited. FBI contact is not the same thing as an FBI takeover. Local departments call in federal agencies constantly. They need better forensic tools. They need help with digital evidence. They need coordination across state lines. None of that means federal agents have opened their own investigation. What it does mean is this case has outgrown one small sheriff's office. Combine that with a private autopsy happening separately in Washington, D.C., combine that with a Mississippi state agency being publicly floated as a replacement lead. This case is now being examined from multiple directions at once. A former police chief who now works with CNN explained why interviews happen separately. He said it's the only way to catch when someone's story doesn't hold up. People influence each other when they talk in groups. Separate them, and the truth starts to show cracks. He also said something that should calm your nerves a little. This pace, in his experience, isn't unusual at all. Cases like this commonly take weeks to properly investigate. That doesn't make the wait easier, but it does mean nothing about this timeline proves mishandling. So the FBI explains half of what changed this week. It doesn't explain the woman everyone's been trying to identify. That woman finally has a name, and what her family says she witnessed changes the entire timeline dispute. Her name is Katie, and she was the last person confirmed to speak with Nolan. For weeks, this case hinged on one disputed conversation. Attorney Ben Crump claims Katie told Nolan she was heading back to the boat. Nolan's friends claim the opposite. They say Nolan chose to stay behind with her voluntarily. Katie herself hasn't given a formal interview, but her mother, Katie McCormack, confirmed she was really there, and her sister posted new details that shift the entire picture. Here's exactly what her family is now confirming. Katie was the woman with Nolan in his final known conversation. She assumed he was walking back toward the boat. She made it home safely on a completely different boat. She has stayed in contact with Nolan's family ever since. She has no knowledge of what happened after they parted ways. Notice what that last point actually means. Katie isn't claiming she watched him disappear. She's claiming she assumed he was safe, and then he wasn't. That's a devastating gap. Not because someone lied, but because an ordinary assumption turned into an unanswerable question. Her mother's statement wasn't defensive either. Nobody has accused Katie of anything at all. It read instead like someone trying to correct the record. That's very different from how other families in this case have responded. Does this settle who's telling the truth? Not entirely. It shifts the weight of suspicion, but it doesn't erase it. Katie's account doesn't confirm the friends lied outright. It's possible Nolan intended to leave, then something interrupted him minutes later. Two honest accounts can still fail to overlap completely. Sometimes nobody is watching closely enough, until it's too late to matter. Do you believe Katie's version, or do you believe his friends? Tell us why in the comments below. While Katie's account raises new questions, other people connected to Nolan have gone strangely silent. Suspect/truth. Several threads in this case remain completely unresolved. Nolan's phone came back with 0 saved Snapchat content. That deletion happened before the standard 24-hour window even closed. A viral video once thought to show Nolan demanding his phone back has a new explanation. A friend now claims that voice is actually his own. Photos show Nolan wearing blue shorts that day. Official reports describe him wearing black ones instead. More than 13 hours passed before anyone requested a Coast Guard search. None of these details have been resolved by this week's developments. If anything, they've only gotten more complicated. Every friend connected to Nolan has already hired legal representation. According to Crump, none of them have spoken to the family's legal team since. That silence is deafening in a case built on conversations. One friend broke that pattern completely. Trace Aston Shepard already corrected the record on the viral video once. This week he said something that stood out. He said he just wants the facts to finally be shown. He's not defending his friend group. He's not accusing anyone either. He said he's already lost his best friend. Whatever the truth turns out to be, that kind of restraint is rare in a case this loud. Who do you think is holding back the truth right now? While everyone waits on the friends to talk, one piece of evidence could end this entire debate. Unresolved both autopsies remain unfinished. The independent exam, expected days ago, was delayed by transportation issues. The state's toxicology results can take weeks to process externally. That gap has already been filled with fake claims online. Multiple outlets have warned people against trusting unverified leaks. If you see dramatic leaked results circulating, treat them with real suspicion. Nothing has been confirmed by any credible named source yet. Amid all of this, Nolan's mother shared something quiet and devastating. The last time she saw him, she'd made salmon for dinner. He hugged her, told her he loved her, and walked out the door. That was July 3rd. Nobody knew it would be the last ordinary goodbye. This case keeps producing new threads every single week. Some genuinely move the story forward, like Katie's family coming forward. Some just add painful, human weight, like a mother's final memory. And some information circulating right now isn't reliable at all. Telling those three things apart is exactly what we'll keep doing here. What do you think actually happened to Nolan? Leave your theory below, and we'll keep bringing you verified updates as this case develops.